Hi Taurus, welcome to your July 2018 tarot forecast. It's Raina here. I almost said Astro update. It's Raina here, and I'm using the Morgan Guru deck. And just shuffling the cards. Yeah, I'm laughing because I did make a pure astrology video. It's on my channel, and also a love reading. I've been doing all three separate for each month, which is, I kind of like that, you know, because then I can just focus on one area. Okay, well, you know, as soon as I started, I don't know why, it's kind of funny because I really am literal about the cards, and I just kind of like focus on things individually, you know, and analyze the cards one by one. I don't call myself a psychic, but maybe since I've been doing this for several years now, I'm starting to just automatically get thoughts in my head that, who knows? I mean, I'm not going to say that they're, oh, this is like a psychic prediction or anything like that, but I want to honor that, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with what's in front of me. But what I see, what I got was that some Taurus people may be fighting over an inheritance, money for some reason, and that you're going to see who these people are around you, that it's going to become clear. We could say it's in the month of July, but who knows? Maybe it's going to be extended. I don't really take seriously the timelines. Just because I'm making this about July doesn't mean that, to me, that's when it will be. But we have here a situation of a lot of people in this fight. So it's more than two people, and there's a bunch of people. It's almost like fighting over the spoils of something. And this was a card that did it for me, because the Nine of Cups in the upright position is about wish fulfillment, feeling like satisfied. Now, Cups, usually it's an emotional feeling, but with the Nine of Cups, I always connect it to material gains as well. And so then I think of those people fighting over it. And then we have here as the foundation card, the Nine of Swords, which is a card of anxiety. So, and feeling that sense of being, you know, trapped in a situation. It's almost like the Eight of Swords. Sometimes I think the Eight of Swords and the Nine of Swords are too similar to be different cards. But in any case, I think that the difference is that with the Nine of Swords, the person, remember that swords can connect to thoughts. The number 9 is more of a solitary number, so it's to me it's more like, you know, they show like it's an insomniac or something like that with the Nine of Swords, but in the Rider-Waite deck. But you know, the truth is that with the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords could be that somebody else is actually doing something to you. But even with the Eight of Swords, it's self-imposed. Your sense of being imprisoned is self-imposed. So with this Nine of Swords, you may be feeling a sense of anxiety about the behavior of others around you. In the workplace, you may have gotten a promotion, and that just pissed everybody off because they might have wanted it too. It might be a dog-eat-dog environment. And I've been getting cards like this lately with, you know, with other signs. So my feeling is that nowadays that this type of behavior may be fostered by the people who are the employers, where they want to keep people on their toes by having this rivalry. And it's very important not to get caught up in it. If you have received some kind of promotion and other people don't like it and they're trying to make your life miserable, you have two choices. You can make them happy by quitting, or you can continue to do your job. Now, if you don't like what you're doing, then it doesn't, the point is moot. It doesn't matter. But if you if you like what you're doing and the only thing that's making you unhappy, making you, you know, have anxiety are these people, then it seems to me that if you quit, you're going to be playing right into their hands. However, I mean, if they're creating a hostile workplace, then there's that to contend with. And that's a shame if that's happening to you. If this is a personal relationship, you may have thought you met your dream partner and it turned into a nightmare. And maybe you're fighting all the time, you can't get along, and you can't figure out, you know, why can't we get along? But they may have a drinking problem, and maybe you just are not putting two and two together because you just don't, you never considered whether or not a certain, their relationship with alcohol was abnormal or not. You just, it didn't even strike, you know, it didn't even cross your mind that they might have a problem, and then all of a sudden you are putting two and two together. Or maybe you're not, and I'm telling you. And when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that person gets combative when they drink. And hopefully, you know, it's not physical, but I'm talking about even emotionally argumentative, you know, trying to start something because they are unhappy and they want to suck you into their unhappiness. So it could be something along those lines. The higher message is represented by the World card, which is the last card of the Major Arcana. So it could very well be saying that this relationship is really over with. And maybe you've known this for a while, but you've kind of hung in there. Because as a Taurus, you tend to stay in situations longer than you should because you are a fixed sign and you like to maintain, you don't really want to change things. If this is like a family situation, especially if it involves money and stuff like that, or property, it may be necessary to go no contact with some family member or family members. Obviously, it would depend on their behavior, but sometimes people are so destructive and creating so much negativity and pain for others that you cannot remain in their presence and feel good about yourself. They're just creating too much mayhem. And there's no shame in not allowing them to run your life anymore. The World card, as I said, if this is a work situation, you might be done with it. It might be time to move on. Even if you did get a promotion, it's like getting a promotion in hell. It's like it's not even worth it. And what I had just said, I said you're going to be playing right into their hands. Well, yeah, that's true. But if it is a toxic environment, you don't want to be there anyway. Even if you were able to contact some kind of like human resources manager to be a mediator and file a complaint against them, I've always thought to myself, you know, yeah, you can preserve your job, but you're going to be in a very awkward position, because it's not like if these people are, you know, after you, it's not like everything is going to be peaceful at work. I mean, they may stop overtly harassing you, but you still are going to feel the negative vibe. So anyway, and then as the practical advice, the King of Pentacles is a card that could indicate somebody who is a money manager, like an accountant or a financial investor who, or financial expert who you may want to go to if these people are trying to wrestle an inheritance away from you. It could be you could be in a situation where somebody left you money in the family because you were the only one who was nice to them, or that they felt was deserving of the money. Now, one thing to say about this, sometimes a parent or another relative will leave money to only one person because of favoritism. But that's not what I'm getting from this, because with the Five of Wands, I'm getting a lot of aggressiveness. So it's almost like other people wanting a piece of the pie, but it's not necessarily that they are deserving of it. Maybe they were not good to this person. So you may have to, it may be wise to contact somebody who, even like a lawyer who specializes in financial affairs, so that you can protect yourself, because they may be trying to take some of this from you, challenge it in court, probate court, or what have you. And if this is a workplace situation, you may go to, perhaps there's like, what do you call it? Like, if it's like in a kind of a retail environment, or they have like a district manager, or you might want to go higher up the food chain in a business if you have felt that there was favoritism. I mean, it wouldn't be favoritism, but if there was some kind of situation where coworkers are allowed to harass you, that you go above your boss if your boss is not willing to deal with it. Because even, usually I wouldn't even suggest that, because that could be awkward too if you go above your boss. But if it's a situation where you simply want a settlement so that you can just quit and have some money, and you feel like you're entitled to some, like a severance pay because it's a hostile work environment and the boss isn't like doing anything to stop the harassment, then you may want to like plead your case to somebody who's above that person, because you're going to be going anyway. I personally would have, a lot of reluctance to go above my boss unless I was actually planning to leave, because, that might not go over very well. And people don't want to get in trouble themselves, and I wouldn't want to get anybody in trouble if I didn't have to. But, yeah, so it might have somebody that can help you monetarily deal with a certain situation. What is coming in is represented by the Ace of Swords, so this is a victory. Sometimes they say, like, with evil around you, you still succeed. It's like the Sword of Truth, but it can be just a moment of clarity where you really are forging ahead and you're not confused anymore about your path or something like that. Yeah, or just new beginnings in some particular way. Actually, we even get as the outcome the Page of Pentacles, which can be a card of the student. So with the Ace of Swords being about thoughts, maybe you're going to be going back to school and you have the money to do so, because this could be financial aid. You may get a little lump sum. Maybe this is from a severance package. It's something to keep you afloat. It could be a message that is a practical message about something related to money. So maybe about an inheritance, or maybe about a student loan that you receive, and you're able to move forward in your life. And that's what I have for you, Taurus. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a private reading, The link to my web store is below this video. I wish you all the best in July. Take care. Bye.